Hi. Welcome back to my to the Serendipitous Crafter, and here we're today. So it's my we're in the fourth week for Cara Brandon's refresh organization with Dana White as well, Dana K. White, and we're in week four. And so this is a lot about stash overflow. Um, Coming up with long-term solutions, it's maintenance, it's cleanup, and use what we have type of strategies. Maybe it's at the end of a project cleanup. What do you do with those scraps? Maybe, and then some weekly resets and handling the overflow. So now I'm not in the point where I'm actually in the maintenance part of of my craft room where everything has its place and I can do like 5-minute pickups and resets and that sort of thing. But I'm going to just choose something specific, trying to create a long-term solution. I know we all struggle with, and I'm here, we all struggle with with our scraps, and we keep our scraps. And I've seen several different systems, with like trays and organizing them by color, by by size, and albeit I don't have a lot of scraps, I try to limit the amount I actually keep. I did find a little stash, and I probably have more, but I'm kind of not sure where everything's at. So I'll try to look for some more for this idea. Now I'm going to try something that, and I got inspired with Dear Julie. At some point, a video of hers, she showed a book where she would, and I don't know if it was a magazine or that sort of thing, but she showed some kind of book where she would glue down her scraps or her leftovers and create like an on the spot masterboard, and just glued wherever, like really no thought behind it, just gluing the scraps down. And then eventually, so when she grabbed this book out, it was to use one of those pages, and then she would have like a complete page done per se, right? And it was just like random images, random papers and stuff, and random junk. And she would tear out the page and use it in her new project that she was working on, her new journal. And she would just add specific embellishments to go with the theme of her journal, right? It was like a base. And so I figured maybe I can do that. Maybe I can start and create a book of sorts. Like I was thinking a magazine, to be really simple, not to create another book or that sort of thing. Maybe it could be scrapbook paper that you're not very fond of, and just, I might actually consider that. So I'm going to think up of what I really want to do, set out. But basically it's that, and I'll bring up the big box I have here, but it's not very full. Like, I just can't get it in the camera because there's a lid to it. But it's basically, I'll just take out some of the scraps. So these are my scraps. Like, it's a mishmash. There's digitals in here, scrapbook paper, all sorts, napkins. There's Christmas napkins. I might actually do like a themed. So it's kind of a glue book, I want to say, but very junky, like glue book, I'd say. And here's like a napkin. And you know what? I'm probably just going to get rid of this. I have like a whole package of these napkins. So there we go. Trash already. Dana K. White, look for trash first, right? So I'll see what like item, like, and in these type of scraps, like really, what do you do? How do you categorize them? When are you going to actually find or look for the scrap of paper? So I figured creating a project with it, like this masterboard magazine book, and then you are able to use the whole page and cut it into a tag, and you'll have a base already set, and it'll be a very kind of eclectic base, I would say. So I'm going to give that a try. and we'll see how we do. And I got different textures. I got like some handmade paper here. There's just a little piece, right? So how does one like save that and be able to find this little scrap like this? We don't remember we have these. So I'm going to try that. I would say this is like, it would be time consuming to do this. If you're starting from scratch with your scraps, for sure. Like, yeah, this would take like days or weeks or whatever. It could be something that you can do while, I don't know, you're watching TV and you pull out you bring up your scrapbook, your scrap box, and your little book that you're using or magazine, and just glue. Like, it's maybe it's a good relaxation thing. I'll give you the highlights on that. But I'm thinking, and then, big items like this is an actual sheet. I actually folded it. It was supposed to be for a journal. I didn't really do anything with it. So that I would categorize, not as a, like, I wouldn't glue all this whole sheet, and I wouldn't cut it up just for this. This, I would keep it somewhere else, I would say. Maybe in my pages for a journal, because it's really the size of a journal. It could fit. It's just themed. Actually, Valentine's is coming up. I might actually use it. You see, I didn't even know. I remember I had this, and like I have another set for February. I was creating a different type of junk journal, and last year, and I just didn't finish it. So look, they're already all ready to go. So those won't go in this, but any like small scraps that you're like, well, why should I even keep it or whatever? I think, after a project, and then when you get into a routine of it, and after every project, your scraps that you have, well, you glue in it. You glue it in there so it doesn't accumulate too much. This is my thought. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll get started. I'm going to decide on my medium, whether it's going to be this magazine. It's small. I can start small and see how it goes. There's just beautiful pictures in here too, so I might want to keep some of those. And maybe it'll make me refer this to it because I have beautiful pictures in here. And and I'll cover the sides with articles and like ads instead, right? So like, who needs the ads? So I'm thinking this could be good. Or I use old scrapbook paper and fold it in half and maybe bind it really quick and have it that way. Maybe that also could be a solution, and you have a thicker base as well. So maybe I'll try both and see what happens. But so I'm going to start that up, and I'll come back in a couple of seconds. Okay, so we're back. So I decided to use the magazine, and so I started, and there's already some scraps on this one that I put. This is a fairly large one, but I figured, I do a lot of, I try a lot of Dear Julie's monthly challenges, so it'll come in handy that it's already here and there's some pieces on it. So I think that's good. And this one I didn't want to cover because it was the wolf. I love the wolves. And I just I pasted some napkin down, which is Santa Claus napkin, which kind of goes with winter and stuff. So if I'll ever use it, I don't know. And then I was continuing on, and I figured I'd turn on the camera. And then I was like, I'm not sure I want to do it on the other side of the same page because it'll get really thick. So that's what I'm debating. And I like these pictures here, so I might make a tag and have this picture as the main tag. Never know. So I think I'll leave this one. This one has this nice Arctic picture here too, but it's more like horizontal. So I think I'm going to do, actually, I might do it on this side because I'll never know. I might use some of the colors of that other picture. So I'll do it on this side. And so I figured do a little bit of, and that's my thought process. So I figured maybe you would want to know a bit what I'm thinking when I'm choosing and stuff, even though I want this to be very kind of laid back and not too not thinking about it too much, that sort of thing. So, and I have like random pieces. Like my desk is now again a little disorganized because I've been doing a couple. You'll notice I'll have a couple of videos coming out. Well, this video and another one. So I've been working on some projects. And oops, sorry. So I haven't been really cleaning as I go, let's just say. And so like these white border edges, I'm going to cut them off as much as possible. And I'm just, oh, see, this one's a double-sided one. So I'm like, okay, choose the one I prefer. I'm going to use some, yeah, I'm going to put it on this one and use the green side of it. And the ones that are actually have torn edges is even better because, it gives it that collage look. And I figured this is actually a great base to do it, right? And I think I've done also, when I do journals, especially theme journals, I like to do master boards with the scrap pieces I have or with like remaining pieces or whatever, and then using that for tags at the inside the actual journal. So I've done that a few times, and that's been really good. Because I find while the systems I've been seeing a lot of other crafters do, and mostly like junk journalers do, and to everybody, like to each their own, right? Whatever works for everyone. Like this might not work for you, but I find most of the systems, like the tray system, where you're organizing, like this little piece I'm going to get rid of, or you're organizing. Oh, I see this one had this on the back. I really love music paper. So I'm gonna, yeah. I know myself, and I know I'm not going to categorize and organize by size, by color, my scraps. I just, and I have evidence because I just leave it in the basket, and several baskets actually, on the floor, and it just stacks up and it looks messy. So I know I won't I have a hard time like filing systems. Yeah, not for me. I know that of myself. So, but this, I think, when you just don't know what you want to create and you're in a little and maybe you want to spark up a bit of your creative mojo. I think this is a good. Oh, look, we got another one here. Yeah, I'll do that. This could really help with your creative mojo and just get into a flow of gluing down. So I think this will work for me. Maybe, setting some time aside for it, do some relaxing pasting, gluing. I find it feels a lot like when you do glue books. See, and I have a lot of strips. This is an interesting strip, actually. I think it was food coloring. Even doing snippet rolls. Like if you have a lot of these strips, you can do like a snippet roll, a small, and that'll be your base. But I'm not doing any stripet rolls anytime soon. So maybe I'm just going to add, and I've seen like various projects you can do with strips like this. So you can do that. Like you can create a whole new page with strips, and just by gluing it on a piece of paper, and then you get a multitude of, and it's just strips, right? Strips like this, if they're the same size, that's a good way of doing it too. And I can actually create a page like that. I just thought of it, right? I can actually create a page like that. And I think I'll do that. I'll show you. I think I'll create, my next page will be with these strips, and see how that looks, right? And then when you start cutting them up, the pages, you'll have some really interesting tags maybe. And these, I have these, and I kept this because of some focal points, right? So I'm not sure what I want to do with that. So I'm not going to take that scrap. And it's exactly that. There'll be some things you'll be like, I don't know what to do with that, right? And I'm just pulling strips, so I think I'm going to do the strip one. So I'm just going to leave this one here for now, and I'm going to start this strip. And maybe when I create, maybe not the next video that's going up, because that is is already partially all recorded and stuff. I am going to commit and using this glue book per se, of masterboard papers, right, to use it up. And I figure this is another bonus with this, is that it takes a lot less room to store, right? Instead of trays and bins, never ending bins. This one's really bright. I've got some bright ones like this. Never ending bins of scraps. It takes up a lot of storage, and I really don't want to make room. Storage is quite a real estate in this craft room, and I rather have it for something else. So I'm just like moseying along. So depending, oh, that's a big blob of glue. This glue stick is like outrageously, I think it's very gummy. It sticks well, but I don't know if it's old. This is just old newspaper that I'll throw a little bit of check texture and some print. And then you can do stamping on it too. So a multitude of things when you're turning your scraps into a little creation, right? This is a piece of a calendar. It's like, why not? And now you're noticing I'm like passing the edges there, and I can just like cut the edges off afterwards. I'll do that after. So just keep on moseying along. Now I'm going to try to find another. I got another bright one here. I'll use this yellow one to finish off our page, which turned out like perfect. Oh, I'm like, it's because I'm hooking up, my hand is touching the extension cord to my phone there. Sorry about that. And there we have it. And so how is everybody coming along with their organization? If you're still doing it, still motivated. After a bit, you kind of get a little, I find you need to watch organization videos while you do it, because it feels like someone's right along with you. And Dana K. White has so many 1 hour betters that you can watch. and just have it in the background while you're decluttering your own space. See, normally this is not something, you know, do I keep it? Do I let it go? But, you know, on a little master board like this, or a glue book. Now, if you wanted to go as far as inking the edges, you could, but that's like that's like a major extra step, I find, and that could take a while. I'm just trying to mix my colors here a bit. So, and I'm in the middle of like really cleaning up my scraps. I got this, but you know what? I'm not going to use it all. I'm just going to take a little. Do I want to keep it? Sure. I'm putting this in the trash, by the way, in the recycling bin, and I'm just going to put this piece. Because this we can get, you know, quite a bit of. It's like Amazon packaging. But it's going with kind of with the color tone I'm doing on this side. So, kind of works. So, we got that. Okay, I got this. I'm like, how am I ever going to use this again? I used it in one of my junk journals, I think. Well, I think I'm just going to turn the page and make sure your corners are glued down. Like that. I'm gonna glue this glue is really messy. I should use it's like the old, this is school glue. Prit. Works well. So this one I'm not sure. See, I'm still not sure if I should be covering the backs or not. Because if I want to like have a tag and I could just put a nice piece of paper of coffee dyed paper there and it'll solve it. So let's go on this one. This one has nothing grand, so I'll do it. I'm going to paste this big sheet like I did the first page. And I find using a magazine, you know, it's just easy to flip over the page if you want to start a new page, or, you know, you don't have to fill it right away because this is scraps, right? So if you want to be a little intentional with your master boards, you can, if you want to do that. So, well, there we go. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'll come back and kind of show you where I'm at, and I'll let you know if I got rid of all my scraps this way. So a couple of seconds for you, and maybe an hour for me. Talk soon. Okay, so I did quite a lot of gluing. I'll show you what I've done. I did several pages. This one's not quite finished because it's more of a wintry and kind of Christmas. And so you saw this one last time. I skipped this one. And so here we have it. This one's purely stripes. And I really actually enjoyed doing it. It was very relaxing. And I even did like the inserts to the magazine. So like, why not? Another striped one. And this one, I really love this like seam. So I wasn't sure what to do. So I just left it. And then anyway, it's on the other side. So I wasn't double siding them. And here's another one. So these were like large pieces, but I found that these pieces I wouldn't be really using, like I mentioned, like if I don't know that I have it, and if it's just in a pile in a basket, I won't like necessarily fit through it. So, and then I noticed I kept some of the images in the magazine that I really liked, and so that I can just easily back that and use it in a journal. So this is some more strips. And then I did find another scrap basket, right? I knew I had more. So like, yeah. So this was full. It's kind of halfway through now, plus the other stuff. So there's still quite a bit in here to do. Didn't finish it all, but I did quite a few pages. And this is another one that I kept the image on top. And like just these scraps of the pattern paper, the tissue pattern paper. I was like, why not? Like sewing pattern. And this is like leftover book pages from a Reader's Digest. And I have like the whole block that I removed. So I got clean pages I can use. But, you know, might not want that. I just created the background for tags. And that's it. And I got quite a few pages left in the magazine still. And I've been working on it for a couple of hours now. So yeah, I think it's a good kind of maybe weekly exercise, weekly project that I can do like on the side when I just want to relax maybe, or I just don't know what to create. I think it kind of, and it uses up your scraps, and it creates these background pages you can use at a later date, and these can be easily stored where they don't take up a lot of room. These are kind of vibrant pages, but I think if I used, I did use these in something. So yeah, and they're fairly glued, like they're just glued down, and obviously they need some touch-ups, and then you can just add some focal points and that sort of thing. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that idea. Let me know what you thought of it. And wishing you luck for the rest of this week's challenge. And I'll say, let the serendipity find you in your crafting. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.